It's 8:38 at News Radio 106.7. Rob Stadler and Cheryl White. Atlanta's OTP versus ITP battle rages on. It turns out there are major differences between living inside and outside the perimeter,
especially when it comes to where we're spending money. Joining us is Dawn Brunn from Cardlytics here in Atlanta.
Dawn, basically what you're saying is you can ask someone just a few questions about their spending habits and come close to nailing down whether they live inside or outside the perimeter?
Exactly, Rob. That's exactly right. And at Cardlytics, we went ahead and looked at consumer spending on things like clothing, automotive, grocery, restaurants, to see if there were any differences between those of us that live ITP and our OTP friends. And what we found is that there are a lot of similarities between the two groups, but there are also a lot of differences.
So, Dawn, I'm betting that outside the perimeter, the houses tend to be a little bit bigger, the kitchens are larger. I'm betting those folks eat in more. They spend more on groceries.
You would be surprised then, because it's actually those of us that live ITP that are spending more on groceries. We're actually spending about 9% more on groceries.
Interesting.
What about recreation and travel? How does that measure up?
For recreation and travel, it's interesting. Regardless of where you live, Topgolf is actually the top choice now, and that's been a growing trend over the last couple of years. But when it comes to travel, those of us that live ITP are actually spending about 25% more on things like hotels, airfare, Airbnb, things like that.
So what other trends are you noticing? How can we tell?
We also differ a little bit when it comes to online shopping. So people that live in town spend about 34% more on .com purchases than their out-of-town friends.
Well, I guess that sort of makes sense because the shopping malls, the big malls, tend to be OTP.
They do, but we thought it was a little bit interesting just that it was such a high percentage given the access to many things that you do still have in the city when it comes to boutiques and things like that. So still a bit surprising.
Did you uncover any other surprises?
The other one that was interesting to us was, regardless of where you live in Atlanta, Waffle House is an all-time favorite. Year over year, it's just people's favorite place to go out and eat.
Hey, they serve it up fast and they serve it up good. What can you say, right?
That's right.
And they're open 24 hours a day.
Yes, they are.
There you go. Dawn Brunn, Cardlytics here in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us.